tonight.
It's been called Canada's Saturday Night Live, and he's been called Canada's original stand-up comic. Dave Broadfoot was already a star when he joined CBC's Air Farce in 1973. But this is where, over the decades, he became a national treasure.
Good boy.
Canadian boy.
Lou Bagoy was his co-star and friend.
He was a master of the one-liners. Ba-da-bim, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum.
Big Bobby Clobber.
Broadfoot came up with the lines and the characters too.
I don't have a lot of toothaches because I don't have a lot of tooth.
There was Big Bobby Clobber, the dim-witted hockey player.
I was sitting in my lonely log cabin.
Another oh-so-Canadian favorite, Sergeant Renfrew, the RCMP officer who never gets his man.
Suddenly, there was a ding-a-ling on my phone. The ding-a-ling was my chief inspector.
It was zany, and it was cool before anyone knew Canadian comedy could be.
He was really proud of being a Canadian, and that made it okay for other Canadian comics to talk about being Canadian in their comedy. I think that's an enormous, enormous thing that he did.
Ladies and gentlemen from Canada.
All the more so because Broadfoot got a huge American break early on, appearing on The Ed Sullivan Show in 1955. But it didn't go very well.
He took me up to his office and started to rewrite my act.
I see in the New York Times.
That early brush with Southern fame seemed to make him more determined to write his own story here.
The continuing drama of our nation's leaders, the food they eat at lunch, the high cost of it, and their relentless struggle to keep it down.
Over the years, he honed a sharp but always genial style, even as he pioneered political comedy.
The sun also rises over Ottawa.
Broadfoot even advised the new generation of satirists to be, well, a little nicer.
And even now, like writing, if we're going to go ambush the Prime Minister or something, I think, well, could be nicer. And if you try to be nicer, you can be smarter, too. So I thought that was great advice for him to give me.
We heard this ringing of the doorbell, and sure enough, there was two smiling Jehovah's Witnesses. Come in, says Arnie. We're all perverts here and horny as hell.
Broadfoot performed well into his 80s and all over the world.
Renfrew, he said.
But his act, like the icon behind it, remained quintessentially Canadian to the end. Joanna Rameliotis, CBC News, Toronto.